to California because a statewide emergency has been declared because of ongoing wildfires there. Let me start in Los Angeles. This is a fire that began earlier today close to the Getty Center, which is a big arts complex. It's now threatening several neighborhoods, and we know the LA mayor is drafting in emergency help. These pictures are from a lot further north, Sonoma County in Northern California. There, almost 200,000 people have evacuated. And just look at the wind. It's up to 100 miles an hour, and that is helping spread the flames. There's a similar issue playing out in Los Angeles where firefighters are working, but having their work made harder by the strength of the wind that is fanning the flames. Another factor is electricity. We now have power companies turning off electricity supplies to try and stop damaged cables, which can be triggering new fires in some areas. But of course, the primary focus is evacuations. Here's one LA official explaining.
If you're in the mandatory evacuation zone and you're still there watching this, you're an idiot. Get the hell out. It's way too dangerous. People that stay behind are just endangering themselves and not helping.
Well, let's focus on two areas. One is close to Santa Rosa in the north of California. This is a much more detailed map. In fact, I'm going to bring that up again because it's brought up the wrong graphic, but I want to show you. So Santa Rosa in the north of California. Oh my goodness, it's playing up, apologies. But what's happening there is that there's about 50,000 acres of land that have been damaged, and we know about 400 buildings have been caught up in it. Much further south, you have Santa Monica in Los Angeles. Let's show you the image there of a much detailed map. You've got Santa Monica there. This area marked in red is where the fire is at its worst. Thousands of people have had to evacuate. LeBron James, NBA star, says he's had to evacuate his house. I've been driving around with my family trying to get rooms. No luck so far, although I'm sure that is resolved. Our colleague Peter Bowes, BBC reporter, says we're safe. The animals are safe. The house is still standing. Peter lives about 30 miles outside of Los Angeles. He describes scenes of utter devastation and that some of his neighbors have lost their homes. And I spoke to Peter a short while ago.
My closest neighbours, 3 of those houses completely destroyed, and everyone literally just had to get out of their homes within seconds and flee for their lives. There was absolutely no warning because the winds were so strong. You can probably tell the winds are still quite strong here now. They're due to die down in the next few days, but for a few moments it was an absolutely terrifying situation.
Let's bring in the BBC's LA correspondent, Sophie Long, who's live with us. Sophie, tell us more about the state of the fires in Los Angeles, please.
Well, I'm just standing in the Brentwood Hills, Roz, and you can see the fire still burning behind me. You see the smoke that's coming up there. Just behind that is the Getty Center. This has become known as the Getty Fire. And beyond that is the 405 freeway. And that is the only thing that is stopping those flames from jumping over that freeway into the mansions of Bel Air and the sprawling city of Los Angeles beyond. So there's been quite a fretful morning here in Los Angeles today. This fire broke out at about 1:30 a.m. this morning. It's now moved across at least 600 acres. Thousands of people have been evacuated from their homes, and as you rightly say, that's really the priority here, to get people out of their homes and into a safe area, as we heard LeBron James did this morning, and also Arnold Schwarzenegger, the former governor, did as well. Now, most people are heeding those warnings, but as you heard from Peter there, things change very quickly indeed. And we have heard people phoning into local radio stations this morning saying, hey, I'm going to stay, I've got an industrial strength hose pipe and I think I can fight it off. The message here is very clear, as you heard from that LA City Councillor. Get out of your homes and move to safety. Certainly, it's not just the fire that's caused disruption here. There's huge disruption. A lot of freeways have been closed, people finding it very difficult on their commute to work, and a number of schools closed also in this area. In the north of California, that huge fire is still burning. It's now burnt up to 66,000 acres, another 12,000 overnight. That fire in the wine country has been burning since Wednesday, and it's still only 5% contained. So firefighters working around the clock across California in very difficult conditions. And the weather at the moment is actually working briefly in the favour of firefighters, but that could only be for another 24 hours. We still, of course, have this very hot, dry heat. And when the wind gusts come, that's what makes it very difficult to fight these fires, because it lifts up embers and can deposit them, starting new fires up to 2 miles away.
Sophie, thank you very much for the update. There's Sophie in Los Angeles, and hopefully those fires will come under control both in the north of California and in Los Angeles.